Becoming a diving instructor, how to train for CMAS diving instructor, OWSI diving instructor. Becoming a dive instructor takes time and it must be used optimally if you want to have a correct level and ensure a job. Discover here how it works. To become a diving instructor, if you start from a level 0, the transition from beginner to confirmed can be fast enough. This will of course depend on your ease, your motivation and your work. Since diving is not just about practice, a good theoretical level is essential to understand all the physical and physiological changes in the diver and to prevent potential accidents. To become a diving instructor, whether according to the French or American standards, you must pass the first 4 levels, for which a minimum of 6 months is necessary if you are excellent. Totaling 100 dives, then do a monitor training for you or monitor abroad in a foreign country. Before you consider becoming a diving instructor, ask yourself first the question: become a diving instructor. To do what? To make it a full-time job? In France, abroad, in a foreign country? To train and teach, or just to take certified divers for a ride? To eventually take a sabbatical or offer a second career after retirement? Just to train your spouse, your children? Thailand Diving has developed for beginners intensive formulas in 6 months to become a professional dive. To learn more and follow the news, you can also visit our offer here. To learn more and follow the news, you can also visit our offer here. Become a dive instructor. Your new life. Whatever your choice, to become a dive instructor you must pass the first 3 levels, and as much as to do so, combine level 1 and level 2. Count 5 days of training for levels 1 and 2. Then everything depends on your choice. 1 instructor, small depth, volunteer. You just want to volunteer. Beginner training, up to 6 meters. In France, to friends, go to the initiator. After doing the first 8 and store 12 dives in autonomy or a week or so, you can consider the 7 days of training for the initiator. 2 professional guide abroad. Remunerable outside France. Do you want to supervise divers abroad by being remunerable? Then become dive master or PADI. You will first need to pass the emergency first response CFR diploma and rescue divers in 3 days. Finally, after a total of 40 dives, you can spend the dive master in a week or so. That's it, you're professional. Better, in order to learn how to also manage the deep diving with decompression, you can consider to make our formula level 3 CMAS and dive master on 2 weeks if you are level 2 with 40 dives, a formation top. 3 volunteer guide in France. You wish to supervise volunteers. You will have to pass the RIFAP first aid in the level 3 in 4 to 6 days, then the level 4 in 2 stages of 3 to 4 days, and an examination of 2 days with a preparation theoretical and personal physics. Note: level 4 can also give rise on request to the professional diver equivalence class 2 mention B, which allows to work in archaeology, census, shooting. An ideal compromise if you are N3. Our level 4 plus dive master PADI training allows you to become both a volunteer guide in France and a pro paid guide abroad. For professional instructor abroad. Remunerable outside France. Do you want to be an instructor and employable anywhere in the world outside of France? Then become OWSI instructor, open water scuba instructor. After having followed the level 4 or a dive master course, it will take you 10 days minimum, and you will have to total a total of 100 mini dives before integrating this formation. A good compromise to work all over the world, to pass the OWSI, then after having worked 2 years abroad in Europe, to ask the right to exercise in France. In summary, to become a diving instructor. To be able to baptize friends in a club in France, do the level 2 in the initiator. To be able to take people in ballad in France, do the levels 1, 2, 3, 4 and possibly the initiator. To be able to take a stroll abroad, make the rescue or level 3 and the dive master PADI. To be able to train aliens, to the instructor OWSI. In order to be able to work in France, moreover, You have the right to practice after working 2 years abroad in Europe, justified by work contract and payslips. To learn more and follow the news, you can also visit our offer here. Le monitor, la monitrice de plongée cadre d'enseigner le pratique de la plongée offers de plongeurs amateurs ou confirmés. Elle doit être à la fois techniquement très compétent et suffisamment pédagogue pour pouvoir faire passer ses connaissances. The dive instructor supervises and teaches the practice of diving with amateur or experienced divers. She must be at the same time technically very competent and sufficiently pedagogue to be able to pass on his knowledge. Business description: the supervisory and teaching prerogatives are different according to the patent. Under the supervision of a monitor top level with which he works, the dive underwater initiates, frames, supports, provides security and helps to train divers in diving with air or nitrox from 0 to 40 meters. He works in complete autonomy as part of the aquatic hike. He organizes the activity on the practice site and adapts it to the specificities and expectations of the public as well as the environmental constraints. Wages: the salary of the dive instructor depends on his level. For a monitor, it is close to the SMIC. For a monitor, the pay level is slightly higher, about €1,600. It should be noted that certain related skills, foreign language proficiency, etc., can also influence remuneration. Career development's possibility to evolve to occupy coordinating or supervisory functions. A dive instructor can reconvert himself in the sale and maintenance of diving equipment on nautical bases. Even write articles in the specialized press or have a function of advising on aquatic or underwater shooting. Professional evolution of the diving instructor: it is also possible to set up your own dive center or become a dive center director. To learn more and follow the news, you can also visit our offer here. Evolutions to career: the daily missions of a diving instructor. There are several levels of monitors depending on the federations and types of training. The underwater diving instructor supervises, accompanies, ensures safety and contributes to the training of scuba divers in the air or nitrox from 0 to 6 meters. He also supervises the divers and accompanies them in exploration as a hoist guide. In the space from 0 to 40 meters, it can work in complete autonomy as part of the underwater hike. He organizes the activity on a practice site and adapts it to the specificities and expectations of the customers as well as the environmental constraints. He works under the authority of a higher-level monitor. The underwater diving instructor introduces and supervises activities ranging from the discovery of marine biodiversity to the exploration of shipwrecks, through technical training of practitioners and mentoring trainees in areas of depths ranging from 0 to 60 meters in the air and beyond with mixtures. Skills needed to become a diving instructor: good physical condition, pedagogue, brevet of first aid, knowledge of navigation and mechanics. Where does the dive instructor work? The dive instructor can master other specialties, which allows him to diversify diving bio to discover fauna and flora underwater, technical diving, etc. Of course, you have to get additional certificates for that. For those who wish to work abroad, you must speak at least English and have recognized diplomas abroad. The dive instructor may have the status of self-employed or salaried worker. To learn more and follow the news, you can also visit our offer here.